Fostering climate resilience, economic recovery and social security, just some of the areas of focus identified by the mayors for the cities of Tshwane and Johannesburg as they take over the chairmanship of the Urban 20 on Monday. Now, the U20 is recognized as a formal G20 engagement group for cities around the world. It brings together at least 50 global cities to develop recommendations to the G20. Newzroom Afrika's Junior Kumalo joins us live there from Pretoria. And I just saw on the Tshwane Mayor's Twitter account, Junior, that she has launched, together with the city of Johannesburg, this edition of the Urban 20 Summit.
Indeed, Michelle, they have the two mayors from Tshwane as well as Johannesburg have launched this chairpersonship of the Urban 20. They are going to be taking over this important role because this is a global forum that basically advocates for the challenges that are facing most of these urban cities. Over half of the global population actually lives in urban areas, and by 2050, there is that expectation that about 3/4 of the world is going to be living in these urban spaces. So that's why this forum was formed, to give a voice to those individuals that are living in these areas. But this taking over of the chairpersonship by the mayor of Johannesburg and the mayor of Tshwane comes at a time when these two metros are facing a lot of challenges. Today in the morning, we did see some people protesting the water challenges in the city of Johannesburg. But let me bring in the mayor of Tshwane just to speak to us about that. Mayor, you take over as the co-chairs of the U20 at such a challenging time for these two metros. Does this inspire confidence in all of these cities that are part of this forum?
Yes, indeed. I think the challenges that we are facing, all other cities are going through the same thing. And I think what is important is what is it that we are doing to resolve those challenges. So, for instance, you make an example of the water crisis that we are having in Gauteng. Now, part of this conversation is to say, what are the sustainable solutions that we can bring in order to curb the water crisis that we are having? But obviously, we're not only saying, just fix the issue of water leaks. We are saying whatever solution that we are putting to the table between now, it must last us for the next 50 years. Therefore, the issue of sustainability and the alternative technology and nature-based solutions, that's exactly what this U20 platform is giving us, so that we can have the discussions, but also learn from other cities that have been through the same thing. For instance, in Nairobi, who's also part of this, is one city that struggles with floods. Now, ourselves, city of eThekwini, now we have issues with floods. Question is, what are the solutions that are already tested that we can then plug and play into our cities? So I do believe that residents have every right, to be skeptical about, the agency of us. But we are also saying there's a challenge that we don't talk about enough. The issue of financing the solutions that are on the table. The world is not short of solutions, whether it's the issue of technology, whether it's the issue, for instance, the issue of planting trees. We've seen that working in other parts of the world, but there are those solutions that require financial injection, and we don't have that money, not only us as the local government in South Africa, but nationally. The amount, you would have heard the SALGA CEO saying only 9.5% of the national fiscus contribute to local government, and it leaves us with a backlog in terms of our infrastructure development. So obviously that then plays a big role in terms of how urgently do we respond to the impact of climate change. But also what we are saying as the cities on the C40 platform, we don't only want solutions that are short-term. Are we thinking about the impact of climate change 50 years from now, but are we also planning for cities that are livable for kids that are not even born yet? That the designs of our CBDs, the solutions that we give to those who are currently living in informal settlements, those who are currently, located themselves where there are wetlands. In Tshwane, that would not have been a problem 10 years ago. But now with all these rains, all of a sudden we are impacted. So it's about the practical solutions that we need to bring to the table. But at the center of it, we must now be very much alerted to the fact that climate change is here and it's a real and it's affecting residents on a daily basis. And we must then take advantage of the platforms that we are getting to champion those needs so that we can have relevant solutions.
Speaking about relevant solutions and practical solutions, you also spoke about wanting to use this forum to make sure that the citizens of Tshwane do benefit from this. How do you ensure that the citizens of Tshwane do benefit from you becoming the co-chair of the U20?
Definitely. I think that was one thing that I've said from day one. I'm not going to be part of a cliche of an event. I need an impactful event. How will we get the impact? Is if the residents of Tshwane are involved. So one way of doing it is to have practical projects in their communities, whether it's to look at, the stormwater drainage, whether it's about the bicycle lanes, whether it's about electrifying of informal settlements using green energy. Those are the solutions that we must be able to apply at a resident level. So that's the way that they're going to be a part of the solution and also feel the impact of the solutions. But also in Tshwane, we're already implementing climate budget initiative, that all the capital projects that we have already are asking the question, how will this help us to respond to the issue of climate change and the impact that it has. And therefore, the residents, whether they know about it or not, already they are considered in terms of, we don't want, for instance, the areas in Hammanskraal that are now affected by floods. We know what is the issue there is, because it's an absence of stormwater drainage. Now that when we bring a project, a broad project in that area, it must now have the stormwater drainage, and that's as much as practical that we are pushing for. That we don't want to theorize with Omagogo in Soshanguve. We need to show them this is the impact of climate change, and we translate to them what does it mean exactly. But also these are the solutions that benefit you, that we no longer going to have residents that are displaced because we can't respond to the issue of floods, for instance.
Okay, thank you so much. That is the mayor of Tshwane there saying that she does not want to theorize, but she wants to ensure that the citizens of the city of Tshwane as well as the city of Joburg do benefit from this co-chairing by the two mayors of the Urban 20, which is that global forum of urban cities, Michelle.
Yeah, it's the mindset that's needed in places like KwaZulu-Natal and many other provinces as well, Junior, as we see in real time the impact of climate change. Junior Khumalo, thanks very much indeed. He's live to us from the capital.